the tutorial is up, but one of the problems with this tutorial, the way it was generated, as you can see here, is that the buttons don't work as intended, and the buttons don't work as intended, and you see when you click it, it just rotates. It does not, you can't change, for example, each of those parts of the Rubik's Cube, they do not actually change. Alright, so in today's tutorial, we're going to optimize this. For some weird reason, getting issues with YouTube as well. I honestly do not know what's going on with YouTube. Hopefully, you guys can see this live stream. It says it can't do the playback, but it looks like the stream is live because the time is actually going on up to YouTube, man. Oh boy. Okay, so this is the one here. You just go watch mini live submenu. I'm going to click it. And basically, as you can see, we fixed it where not only can you rotate it, but you can actually change the, yeah, you see that? It rotates all of that. So each of them can change individually as well. So that's what we're gonna do. Our goal is to make it fast. You see, it's much smoother as well. Okay, so as you know, the original code was generated using AI, and that's one of the problems with AI. You know, you hear all people saying this stuff like, "Oh, it's going to replace programmers. It's going to replace people. We're going to lose their jobs." Maybe for basic things, it's possible. You know, for example, replacing people. I'm talking about the chat-based AIs. It might replace people. For example, if you call for support, it might replace people. What I'm saying is that's the most basic knowledge stuff, which has always been going to automation anyway. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm just saying that it's been like that for about 40 years. It's been going that way, probably even more time than that. However, it's at this time, and I don't think even for my lifetime it would ever replace programmers, because it's still going to need programmers, because AI, despite what the marketing guys say, it's still not artificial intelligence. It's still basically just algorithms, meaning that somebody needs to program it. So you always need programmers, and not just at a super high level. You always need even mid-level type programming as well. Okay, so the model I used in the previous tutorial was this one. You see, I have a link to the previous tutorial if you want to go take a look at it. What I did was I used this model, the Qwen 3-quarter, 30B, 30 billion parameters. I use this instruct. So just to cover you guys, it's a Q4. That's a quantized model. So you should be able to run this on your GPUs systems. Even if, for example, I was able to run like 17B models and bigger when I had my old workstation, had 16 gigs of RAM and a 2 gig VRAM for the NVIDIA GTX 950. So if I was able to do that, so remember, so that would give it a total of 18, and I was able to run those, sometimes even bigger, 20. Of course, a little bit slower, but they did work. So they should easily work on your system. My particular system, I do have a dedicated graphics card. It's an AMD Instinct MI60. It has 32 gigs of VRAM. However, my system RAM although it's 32 gigs of RAM, I don't actually get the entire 32 gigs of RAM. It's actually because 4 gigs is reserved for the integrated graphics, and 4 gigs is reserved for ZRAM, which is I want to say cache. I don't know why I keep on saying it's for swap. It's called ZRAM. It's for swapping. So basically, compresses everything. So it converts. It makes the 4 gigs become 8 gigs for the swap space. So that means that usable RAM is only 24 gigs. But that's also not quite true, because, you know, for example, right now I'm using OBS. I have multiple browsers open. You know. So my point is that it's not even 24. It's actually, the usable one is actually less than that. So just to show you that I'm able to run it even on my system, you guys should be able to run it as well. So one of the reasons with the original implementation was functional, as I've explained some of the problems with it. It wasn't really using more modern JavaScript features, so it wasn't as optimized. So I want to optimize it. For example, the rendering loop, event handling, and enhance the visuals, make it a little bit more stylish with modern CSS3 effects and better mobile performance. Make it more, actually it wasn't even touch friendly, so I made it more touch friendly, and also because it's more optimized, it's also faster, so it's not slightly jittery as it was before. So if you're impatient, I have the code here for you guys, and then the enhanced mobile controls and the visual enhancement. So you can just expand that and you can copy paste with that. So let me make sure that all the live streams are working. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. Honestly, YouTube is like, man, yeah, YouTube. What is wrong with YouTube? Honestly, I'm being serious. Like, what is seriously wrong with YouTube? Hold on. I need to rant here about YouTube, especially YouTube. Is that let's see here. Let me make sure this is up and running. Yeah, YouTube. I might have to refresh the page. Give me a second. If you're on YouTube and you're watching this, I might lose you due to yeah, obviously YouTube stuff going on. Just a second here. Okay, view. All the other items should be okay.
Water industry hates when you do this.
Okay, why can't I mute this?
Can slow aging, boost your...
Okay, so what in the world? Hold on a second. Sorry about that. This is okay, that's Rumble. I don't know why Rumble started playing. Okay, I'm going to try to refresh this page, and hopefully I don't lose you guys on YouTube. Let's refresh. Hopefully it works. Okay, it says connection is good. Connection. Okay, there we go. I can finally see YouTube. Okay, so I just had to refresh the YouTube. Yeah, man. Okay, so all the live streams seem to be fine. That's great. Back to where I was. So we're gonna reduce DOM manipulation, minimize the effect for DOM access during animations. We're gonna optimize the event handling, the passive event listeners where possible, efficient rendering improved, and the memory management for better handling of Three.js. Remember, we're using Three.js for the 3D, and so we don't have to do everything ourselves. And then for mobile specific stuff, I already explained this, so I'm not going to go through this again. Now, you might be wondering why it's showing this. Is because I'm using this web browser called LibreWolf. So sometimes it doesn't render things properly. I think it doesn't have a WebGL or some parts of WebGL by default. Anything that tracks it actually turns off by default, but it does work in other browsers, as you will see. And then we have here the screenshots. I was comparing the old one to the new one, and so as you can see, the one that was generated using what do you call it? Remember, this was done 3 times, right? So the original one which I created, and then the one that was generated yesterday. So I updated this here as well, and then the one that I decided to go with. You can see that you see how it's much better looking and it's much faster as well. We'll see, test it. So this is a live stream as I explained. So you hit play here. Okay, so we go, and I'll just stop it here. So the good thing about this is we can simply open all this in a web browser. So what happened was, this was which one did we generate yesterday? We generated this one test yesterday. This was the original one. This was the so-called improved one. And then the one which I improved, this is the final improved one. So we're gonna compare all of them, and you can use a program like Meld. You know what? Let's actually do that. Let's actually use. Let me see. I don't know if that's a good idea. You know what? Let me. I'm kind of thinking if that's actually a good idea. I don't know. So okay, give me a second. I have to. I'm not sure how to show you guys this. Should I actually use Meld because to do the comparisons? You know what? Yeah. Let me use Meld. So this is meld. It can do three-way comparisons, but in this particular case, I'm going to use it just to do a two-way comparison. So let me see if I can get this down. Wow, this is so huge. Okay, wow, it's still so huge. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to try to, I'm going to grab the original one and this one here and compare them. Oops, no, I just don't want to compare this to here. So dump them here. New comparison, it says, here we go. So I'm going to put it here so you guys can see. Hopefully it's big enough. Oh, I can do half screen. Let me do half screen. Okay, so Meld is a comparison application, usually for code, and so it makes it easy. So this is easier for me to explain. That way, this tutorial doesn't take too long. So obviously, the first thing here. So what I did was I got the improved version here, as you can see. Oh, this is MD. Oops, man, this is the problem with. That's not the one I wanted actually. I should have grabbed the other one. It doesn't matter. We can just ignore this part of it. So the blue part is where things change. Obviously, see the name, it says optimized here. That's not gonna make the code any better. And for the font here, this one wasn't using a font, so the font stuff was removed. That again, that's not gonna. It made the font in the before the body. Again, I'll put it here. That doesn't make too much of a difference in improving the code. So we'll put a minimum width in the improved one. That obviously speed things up. Just make the buttons a little bit tighter. You see, give it some padding. It'll make them look nicer. So everything else stays the same as you can see here. Now for the code, this one, the improved one, it put it into a class. So just to clean things up. So none of this is going to make anything difference except that what else do we do here? Most of this is the same. We just improve the way the code is just to make it more efficient. So this one was using functions like function init instead of just use a constructor. We create a cube. We put the colors here. As you can see here, all the colors are here: front, back, left, right, top, and bottom. And instead of just hard coding them, so it's the same thing as this one here, as you can see. So this one doesn't change. This is the same as here. And then we use the for loop to create 27 small loops. 27 small cubes. It's exactly the same. See the difference here is the material. The materials will give them a different instead of using. I don't even know what this one did. So this was AI generated. This is also AI generated for the improved one. And what else did we do here? Set up event listeners as well. So you can see, except this time it actually created some dragging for us. You see it says dragging. So this is for obviously touch events, which was lacking in the old one because this one only did. Oops, this one also has touch events. That am I talking about? Oh, but it didn't have. No, it does have dragging. Sorry, what in the world? I hope I'm not looking at the same one. Okay, this is the index one. So what is going on here? It looks like it did have that. I'm not seeing anything different. Oh, this one had window resize, which is a really horrible way to do stuff. I'm hoping this one doesn't have it. Oh yeah, so here we go. It says that it removed redundant code, it simplified made efficiency on all this stuff here. So I've already explained all this stuff here. However, as you saw, it really didn't do much of a difference, right? So that's why I said that's why a human comes in. This is why a human intervention is much better. So I'm not gonna. I said so. This is just a quick review of the code that was generated by AI and the so-called improvements generated by AI as well. And you see, it didn't make much of a. It didn't make much of a difference. I'll show you the so-called improved one as well. Now this one is the original one, and this was the improved one, which I tried to do using what do you call it? AI. And then I have this one called optimized. I don't know which one. I can't even remember now which one is which. Let's see. Just give me a second. Yeah. So this optimize is the one the one I want to show you guys. So open this one up, and as you can see here, let me zoom in. Come on. There we go. Again, the title doesn't matter. So the viewport, you notice that was missing on the other one. So you see the viewport here, we have the, what do we call it here? Initial scale. So if you're on a mobile, it will scale properly with the initial scale of 1.0, so you don't have to zoom, pinch, zoom, and all that. We put the script tag doesn't really matter where you put them. You can put them anywhere, especially in HTML5, so that's doesn't matter. For CSS, we're using variables. I've actually done tutorials on this, so you can create your variables and reuse them in CSS as well. And then you can see we use things like radial gradients for the Apple. If you have an Apple system, it gives you the system fonts, the Blink Mac system font, and the canvas display block. You can see we have UI just to make it look really nice. As well, the buttons, you see we're using our variables here. This is for the glass, and this is for the primary the primary color. And you see we're using RGBA instead of the boring RGB or hex codes. Cubic, Bezier as well for the transitions. Like really fancy stuff that AI would not be able to do, right? And then you see when the button is active, we have a hover state, we have an active state. You see translate Y transforms, right? Now we have some we have here the Rubik's Cube 3D, drag to rotate and pinch to zoom, right? So those are things I said which were lacking in our code before. And then we have a scramble and we have reset. Okay, and then here we liked the class, so we use the class. It's called Rubik's Cube. We have a constructor, and this time you can we have nodes is animating initiate scene. What is it? Create cube, set up controls, and animate. Right, and then you see this is the function to initiate the scene with 3D. This is Three.js, of course. So as you can see, it's just much more cleaner. We set up lighting, we create the cube. You can see now instead of putting them all the way down, we just say top, bottom, front, back, left, right, left. And then the face materials to put the colors in there. Then we have our geometry. Again, instead of doing this hard-coded, we just use Three.js for that, and then we can group them. We kept the cubes here because I find that trying to be fancy using some of the for each loops and stuff like that, it's a pain. So this is one where it's easier to explain this to you guys. So what's basically, you start with the outer loop, you go to the inner loop. So nested loops, three of them, because you're going to have X, Y, and Z. And that's why. So that's why we kept that here. And yeah, so that works fine. Set up with controls. The orbit controls, enable damping, minimum distance and max distance. And then we so when you click on the scramble button, then we scramble. And then if you click on reset button, we call the reset function. And then when the window is resized, so remember we wouldn't have to do those old ways of doing, there's a specific function called on resize, then we just handle the resize. See, much less code. And then when you to rotate the layer, you see it's animating because it's constantly animating. And then you see the math round, and here we have for each loop. So this is one of those times we can use for each loops. Now I went over all the loops in 2024. There's actually a course on YouTube and obviously on jumbo.com for JavaScript. If you want to learn that, you can see links here as well for the book and the course. And rotation, duration, and the start for performance now, and the promise. See, we use all the modern techniques or functionality that's available for us. So as you can see here, we have, if this is for rotation, this will make more sense when we actually take a look at it. So I don't want to talk too much because my voice is I feel a little bit chilly even though it's warm today. It's supposed to be outside right now. It's supposed to be 3 degrees. It's supposed to be sunny, but I haven't seen any sun yet. So one of the problems when it's above 0 degrees, the reason I feel cold, because even though the temperature is 14 degrees in here at Celsius, is that the heater doesn't come on because it's warm enough. Yeah. So yeah, even if I'm dressed warmly, I still feel a little chilly because when it's actually colder and the heater is coming on, it actually blows some warm air, so it warms you up. But when it's warm enough inside, like say 14 degrees constantly or 15 degrees, the heater is not going to come on, and then I'll feel chillier. Anyway, so here's the function to scramble. X, Y, Z axis. We just do this and just pick random. You see that's why math random is here, and yeah, and that's it. That's how we rotate the layer. And reset, we just reload the page. Then when the resize means the window width or window height, we change the camera, the aspect, obviously, and then the projection matrix. So these are things which, you know, if you're not using a library like Three.js, this will take such a long time to do. That's why Three.js is wonderful for this. This type of stuff used to be in WebGL version 1, but they removed it in version 2, and that's why you can do it yourself, but you have to write a lot of code, and there's going to be mistakes for the rotation. So it's easy just to use a library. And then of course you can animate, and that's it. You just update the renderer and the orbit, and that's when you reload the page, it's going to start the new Rubik's Cube, and that's it. That's the code. You see 224 lines. Let's compare it to the original one that was generated by the AI. Okay, so let's go to the bottom. You can see that one's 503, so more than double. So we made it out more efficient and more faster. Now we're going to test all of them just to show you as well. So we don't need this anymore. So I'm going to close. Let me close this. Close this. So I'm just going to open up a web browser. Alright, so I'm going to open up a web browser here. And so let's start with the original one, which was this one, the index.html. So as you can see, the index.html, let me actually, so this was the original one, you see? So you could rotate it, but you see the problem is, I'm sure you can notice, I don't have to tell you. See, look, these are clearly empty, so it's not done properly. Or you can click here, rotate X. So that doesn't work. Rotate Y didn't work. Rotate Z. Okay, so it does rotate in the Z axis. And you can scramble. Scramble didn't work. Oh, no, scramble does work. Okay, scramble did work. Okay, I thought it didn't work. Okay, scramble did work. Does reset work? Yeah, reset does work. It goes back to the original. So the explanation's here, but there were problems with it. Okay. So that was the original one, the one that was generated by AI originally. Then there was the improved version. Oh, sorry, no. And this was the one that was generated yesterday. So this one was generated yesterday. Let's take a look at this one. So this one you can also rotate. This one looks like it fixed some of the problems. It's the same. So here, if you scramble doesn't work, it just rotates. So that one doesn't work, obviously. Does reset work? Reset doesn't work. And random move just rotates as well. So again, problems with that. Alright, so let's take a look at the improved. This was improved, again done by AI. So those three are all done by AI. What the? Oh, why do I keep on opening up the MD one? Is improved. Here is improved. Okay, so here is improved. So let's see. Rotate does work. It's actually much faster, so that's good. So let's rotate X. Rotate X. Rotate X. I don't know if that's X. Okay, rotate Y. Okay, I'm gonna guess that works. Rotate Z. So it doesn't rotate in the Z axis. Does reset work? Okay, reset does work. What about scramble? So scramble doesn't work because it's still the same, right? So that there we go. So that was a problem. Even so, this improved one was still done by the AI, and it still did not. It's the same mode I used. I input the same file and asked it to optimize it. It did not. So that's why I did it myself, and this is the one I came up with. Okay. So this is one I came up with. You can see much better styling and everything simpler. And for example, you see rotate. There we go. See like that. You can rotate. And this time I can leave it here. It doesn't matter if I hit scramble. You see, it actually scrambles, right? It actually scrambles. And if I hit reset, obviously it just reloads the page, which is perfectly fine. So that's what I was trying to tell you. For example, I go here, hit scramble. Now, does that mean that the AI code is wrong? Or technically it does. It put too much trying to impress it when all I needed was something just this simple, right? Now, it did inspire me to, because all I wanted to do was just create a Rubik's Cube, something like this, and now I've been fine. I didn't realize that it was going to make it move and do all those fancy things, which as you saw, the majority of them did not work. So there we go. And you see, you can zoom out, zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom in, zoom out, and etc. If I put this on a server, like an HTTP server, I'll be able to look at on the phone as well. Or I can mimic a phone. Let me zoom out, zoom in here. So if I can mimic a phone, what is the shortcut to? Is it Control? Oh, can I go in here? More tools. Developer tools. I think it's developer tools. Yeah, there we go. So what I wanted to do was I can click here and mimic a phone. For example, it's going to use the iPad mini. That's perfectly fine. You can see this is the touch. It's mimicking a touch. You can zoom out as well. There we go. So even on a phone or a small device, for example, you can say, oh, that's an iPad. Okay, fine. Let's pick Pixel 7 as an example. Zoom out. You see, it will still work. Right, and you see it, there you go. Scramble works, and so does reset. Yeah, so that's basically the tutorial. So what I wanted to, I'm hoping this is popular with you guys, and I can do more tutorials like this. So I can get AI to generate something, and then the next day we can review it and improve on it. So so my line of thinking is that you can use AI as a tool. For example, think of a carpenter, right? If a carpenter in the past was using a rock to drive in nails, and then somebody invented a hammer, now obviously nobody likes change, right? So what I'm saying is that a hammer is much easier to carry because it's, it has a handle. If the handle breaks, you can obviously replace the handle. But the point I'm trying to say is that if a tool comes that makes you more what do you call it, more effective or more efficient, why not? Why not try it, right? I'm not saying the old ways are bad. I'm just saying that you can use it to improve. For example, if you want to learn a language, right? The AI can help you get started, and you'll be fine. Like for example, people like me, people my age, when we had to learn the hard way, we had to literally go to the library, pick up books or order books or from magazines and learn that way. What I'm saying is these days with the internet, especially with AI, can help you get started, and you can look at your code and offer suggestions. I'm saying think of it like Wikipedia, right? It's a great starting point, but don't take everything it says as fact, right? I'm saying go research it yourself, but I'm saying use it as a starting point. So same with this, just use it as a starting point. I personally used to be a huge AI proponent. However, when I was a teenager, I found out that it was all hype, and that's why I'm more I don't want to say pessimistic. I'm just saying that I'm more cautious now. I don't hype it up until I can actually test it. And for example, with the image stuff and the video stuff, that's actually very impressive. I am not impressed with the chat stuff at this point. Yes, it can produce code very quickly, but you can see. Now, the reason I'm not impressed is not because it produces code, bad code. The reason is it produces code as if it's accurate, and it will argue with you. So maybe I should start a series like that where you see me arguing with the AIs. Not just the open source. Actually, open source ones are really good. It's a proprietary ones. I have to argue with them because they think they know better than me. When clearly, for example, this is more in tune to what I wanted than this one here. Like I never requested any of this stuff. What I'm saying is that if you're gonna add that stuff, make sure it actually works properly, right? Like make sure it actually works properly. And this was the so-called this was the improved one. No, this was the one that was generated yesterday. It's better, but still still has issues because these buttons do not work. And then the optimized one was it is fast, as you can see, very nice. But again, the buttons don't work, right? Zoom does work. Does Zoom work in all of them? See, this one, for example, Zoom doesn't work. And this one, Zoom does work, right? So, so that's what I'm saying. So it's kind of weird. And then obviously, it forced me to add Zoom to this one. Right? So that's yeah. So that's that. All right, enough of that. Okay, so let's finish this up. If you're interested in learning more about JavaScript and web development, you can check out these resources. I have books. For example, I have the Learning JavaScript book. It's available on Amazon. It's a comprehensive guide for mastering JavaScript from basics to advanced concepts. I also have courses on ajamboshop.com. I have the Learning JavaScript course. It's a structured online course that complements the book with practical examples and exercises. As I said before, in 2024, I used it, and also a little bit maybe 2025 as well. I used it exclusively for most of the JavaScript tutorials. I did the videos, so you can. It also uses the web ID, so it comes with a web ID. All you need is a web browser. It's a one-time payment, and you're good to go. And then I also offer one-on-one programming tutorials if you need JavaScript or web development, any other programming language at ojambo.com/contact. All the links for this are all in the description. So the conclusion: by implementing these modern optimization in HTML5 Rubik's Cube, we will not only perform better, but also provide a more engaging experience for users, especially on mobile devices. The combination of reduced code complexity, improved performance, and enhanced visuals makes this an excellent project to showcase your web development skills. What improvements would you like to see next? Let me know in the comments. Alright, so quick reminder that you should subscribe, like, follow, and leave comments, because the more people subscribe, the more the content gets pushed out by the algorithm to more viewers. Those viewers can join this growing community, post tips and tricks, or they post requests, which I'll research, and then I will then share with everybody. I share everything. Alright, so now I also have these other resources. I live in a rural area, in a cabin, and there's no internet here, so I use the SpaceX Starlink residential service. This provides me with high-speed internet. For example, right now I'm using it for live streaming to YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey, and as you can see, there's no problem. I also use it for the phone for Wi-Fi calling. And then I have this Honeywell HeatBud personal ceramic heater. I have a copy of it right here. You can see. Focus. There we go. It has two settings, low and high. Low is 170 watts, high is 250 watts. This little guy has helped me. It's a personal heater, so it has helped me save hundreds of dollars in heating costs, because I don't need to heat up the entire cabin. All I need is just my personal space, like this desk where I'm working right now, and it works fantastically. So this is in my affiliate link. You can go and if you purchase it, I'll get a commission. It will be no extra cost to you. For the Starlink one, that's a referral link. So I'll get, if you do use my referral link, I'll get 1 month free, and you get the significant discount. I also have this algorithmic serpent. It's on Amazon. It comes in paperback and ebook format. I do have a copy of the paperback version right here, as you can see. Focus, oh, wow, okay, and then you see it's there. Wow, okay, there we go. Eduardo Jambo, I'm the author. It's a psychological thriller about a scientist who creates an AI system and loses his mind, so he has to regain control of his mind and the AI system. Pick it up if you have the means and let me know what you think. I like to write more instead of just writing about programming books. For example, my latest book is this Recession Business Blueprint. It's a book, a guide to help you start a business during a recession. So there's a lot of opportunities. Who knows, it might be AI, maybe you want to be a programmer, you want to teach people. For example, one of the fastest growing programming language are all based on JavaScript right now, or non-JS type stuff. So that could actually be the future, because a lot of optimizations are coming out, and for example, similar to AI stuff, right? A lot of optimizations are coming up. Now, if somebody told you, say 5 years ago, that you could generate fast images, really good images, you could generate video on your regular computer, with a laptop or a desktop, you would think they're crazy, right? But that's what I'm saying. A lot of optimizations are coming up, and yeah, so really amazing stuff. Okay, so you can pick up this Recession Business Blueprint. It's available on Amazon. So all my books, they are available in also ebook form. So yeah, in the ebook, you can get them for free if you have Kindle Unlimited on Amazon. So if you want to know more about me, I have a blog here, and I'm a freelance programmer or software engineer, web developer, and an author. My book page on Amazon, the link is there. It's also in the description. If you need support, my consulting at ojamboservices.com. And then if you need the online courses, it's not just JavaScript, there's PHP and Python as well, on ojamboshop.com. The link is also in the description. If you want to contact me, there's this contact form which stays up for 10 days after the article goes live. So this one, for example, you can post things about AI, even though today's tutorial was just improving the AI generated code. You can obviously Rubik's cubes, HTML5, CSS3. If you think there's something else I can improve on this, yeah, you can just perfect to comment there. But the best way to contact me is to use the contact forms, ojambo.com/contact, ojamboservices.com/contact, and ojamboshop.com/contact. And if you want to follow me, I live stream every day on these channels: Odyssey, Rumble, BitChute, and YouTube. Okay, now I'm going to show the outro. Scroll back up just about here. That's perfect. And if you want to see what's upcoming, you go to ojambo.com, go to watch menu, live sub menu. You can see we've just finished this one here. And then we have an exciting one tomorrow where we're going to use Comfy UI, yes, Comfy UI API to generate images in Krita. And then the day after that, we'll do something with Nextcloud and Podman Desktop. And then as after that, we're going to review this game engine called Nutshell Engine. And after that, we're going to review this markdown application called Joplin. So this one here, this game engine, the Nutshell Engine, this was actually requested by, at least commented on by one of my viewers, just like you guys, like I said. So I took a look at it and I found it very interesting. So we'll do a quick review of this one. And what else here? So another viewer requested an easy way to create Podman codelets. So I did one, but that was on the command line. But this one is going to be for Nextcloud. I'll do it using this Podman Desktop. So that's another way you can set it up. And if you don't want to do on the command line, I know some of you guys, especially some of my customers, they don't want to jump on the command line. So that's why I do review this type of applications. And then there we go. So for this Comfy UI, I guess you guys covered as well. I'll have some quantized images now, models. So one of the things I dislike about a lot of people, so when I watch some of this AI image or video generation, the people who make the content, they have a very powerful GPU. For example, there's one, he has like 90 gigs of VRAM, right? So then when he says, oh, don't worry, I got you guys covered, and he says, download this model and download this model, but he doesn't show you, he doesn't actually show you working. So, but he says it would produce good quality, but he doesn't actually show you it working. So I'm the only one who actually, I will actually use the quantized models and show you the output, so you guys can compare yourselves between the you know, the base, not the base, the regular like FP16 models and the quantized models. Okay, so that's what we'll do tomorrow. Okay, now with that said, I'm going to check the live chats to see if there's any chat requests. I'm going to start with Rumble since I'm here. Check out BitChute and what's this one, Odyssey and YouTube. Hopefully you guys are able to now it says good, so okay, that's fine. I'm hoping YouTube you guys is fine. I don't know what's wrong with YouTube, man. Since the beginning of the year, YouTube is giving me some really weird stuff. So hopefully you guys are able to see this live stream. Let me know maybe in the comment section if the comment actually works, because I know they're implementing a lot of AI stuff. Maybe that's the reason things are messed up. So hopefully you guys can see it. If not, just shoot me a message somehow, and I can upload because I'm also recording the video as well. Okay, well, that's it, guys. I'll